I am Menaka. I am a transformation with resilience coach, and I have been doing a series of videos in this challenging time of COVID-19 to help you gain the knowledge and build emotional resilience. In episode 1, I spoke about how you can get in touch or connect with your own emotions. Episode 2 was about how you can identify each emotion specifically. And yesterday it was episode 3, and in that I spoke about how you can evaluate your emotions so that you can work with the emotions in the best possible way to gain and best build up your emotional resilience. Today it is about how you can regulate your emotions. For me, when I speak about regulating the emotions, it boils down to 5 things. And for me, it's 5 A's. So firstly, it is altering your choices. Secondly, it is altering your expectations. Third one is for me, altering your attention. Fourth one is about altering your thoughts. And fifth one is how you can alter your responses. So let's go one by one. Firstly, it is altering your choices. What do I mean by it? We sometimes get caught up in our emotions and situations and experiences. We forget that we have choices, right? We either blame it on somebody else that they are not giving us the choices, or we ourselves don't take up those choices. What do I mean by it? For example, when I used to be having my own dental practice, and I called it my hamster wheel lifestyle, being busy, right? Every 24 hours you feel like it's like you're working non-stop. For me, it was at one point I did forget that I had that choice. I had that power to make that choice, whatever I wanted to, right? And one of those choices which really helped me is by deciding to work late. What I mean is, I used to start late and finish late in that way, because I was living at the time very far from my practice where I was working, and I used to get caught up with the traffic all the time, and I used to, even before I used to start the day, I was so stressed out and tired, and it was the same while coming back home. So at one point I had to make the decision and be aware that I did have a choice to make that change, right? So what I started, when I started to work a bit later and start later and finish later, I missed that peak hour traffic, and it made such a big difference. When I was coming back home or going into work, I could start the day and finish the working without the amount of stress and overwhelm and anxiety I was experiencing before I was aware that I could choose and I could make that choice. So that's what I mean by it. Secondly, alter your expectations. As a recovering perfectionist, I still fall into sometimes those habits, right? I am in this group of speakers, and my mentor is Andy Harrington, and most of you might have heard about him. When I see him and other experienced speakers there, I was almost having that imposter syndrome. I was thinking, it's difficult to do it at that level, right? I was just starting out as a speaker at that time, and it stopped me from doing my videos because it made me anxious. I had experienced fear to do that, right? So instead of that, when I started last year, okay, do the videos and see how it goes, and it was really freeing, because it's not that it was perfect. And even these live videos, I only started like 3 days before, and I'm still learning. Yesterday I made a mistake when I finished it, and today I went on StreamYard to do a live, and I realized, okay, I didn't really come across confident, right? But it really doesn't matter, because we all are learning, we are adapting to our situations, right? But when we regulate our expectations and alter our expectations to be real, it really helps for us to then face our emotions and move forward. The third A is alter your situations, right? Alter your attentions. So, how are you going to pay attention about your situations? What do I mean by that? So, for example, for me, when I had COVID-19 come up, I had just started doing my workshops. And I know so many other people who are in the similar process, right? And now people are suddenly thinking about doing Zoom calls and doing online courses. And so people are actually choosing to alter their attention from just merely doing only live workshops or live courses or one-to-one meetings on live. We are just soon realizing we could actually do all those things online, right? Even though I have done online coaching and online therapy for a while, but I still chose to do it live. That was my uh, priority in a way. So when I realized I could do this online effectively, having Zoom meetings and videos and creating online material, that was freeing, and it also helped me develop myself even more, right? So the next one is altering your thought. There's a story my grandmother used to tell me when I was a child. There's a proverbial story where she used to say there was someone who was really disappointed in himself and was crying that he didn't have a good shoe. And he was walking down this road and he saw this man who didn't have a foot. He lost his foot to an accident. And that made him realize how lucky he was to have the foot, first of all, to even have a choice what shoe he could wear. That is about being grateful, having the attitude of gratitude, right? We often forget that we are in a situation of blessing. Particularly at this moment, we are all cooped up in our houses. We are having financial challenges. We are not having the freedom to go where we want to do, go and what we want to do, and be with who we want to due to social distancing and everything else. But we often forget that there are people, we are really blessed. There are NHS staff who are out there putting themselves and their families at risk just to protect us and serve us the best way they can, right? Even the government, the officials, the authorities, they're helping, they're trying to help in the best way they can to make us feel financially stable. Of course, it takes time, but at least they're trying, right? So I think when we start thinking that way, and we start thinking that there are still possibilities, and we are so blessed to have what we have right now. We have a roof over our head, we have family, we have friends, or even if we are alone in our house. I am very aware some of us are alone in our houses, and it's not easy to be cooped up in the four walls, but we are still blessed to have that space, and we are blessed to have whatever food we have on our plate, right? And so many people are suffering with, particularly with COVID-19, they're losing their lives, their loved ones. So we are blessed that if we are having all those things, right? So we should be grateful for that. And the last A is about responding. How do you alter your response? When we start thinking, however we feel or whatever emotions we experience, when we know and understand that how we respond to that particular emotion is still in our power, it makes us feel so much better, right? So what do I mean by it? So for example, even though this time we can't go out, or I can't go to work, or I am self-isolating myself personally as well because I'm asthmatic, but there are things I can do. When I decided I want to do something proactive, and I want to contribute in any small way I can, and help someone else, it really made a mind shift in me, right? Because now I started doing the videos, and I feel even more connected to everyone than before, because when you contribute something for others, it kind of gives you so much of fulfillment, right? So, and I also put myself out there in the community saying I'm up for free coaching for half an hour, or speak to people who are feeling lonely or lost or stressed. And a few people did take up that service, and it was really freeing for me. And I found myself being occupied in a fulfilling way, right? So I decided that was my way of responding, and I'm sure each one of you are going to respond in your own best way. There's no magic formula here. Everyone is different. We all find our own best way to deal with things, right? But I think knowing that power of response is still with you is the best thing you can know. So to summarize, the first A was alter your choices. The second A was alter your expectations. The third one was alter your attention. The fourth one was alter your thoughts. And the fifth one was alter your responses. From yesterday, if you have written down how you can write down and evaluate every emotion you are feeling in every 2 hours, please go back and see how you can alter those emotions, what you felt, and you evaluated those emotions, how you can alter those situations or the way you respond with what I am saying today. And please let me know whether you find it helpful, or maybe you found some other way to cope with it, right? You have your own way to do it. Please do comment below. And I will be putting this on YouTube, so please do subscribe if you feel this will be valuable to yourself or to someone you know. Please do share this so that it will be helpful for as many people as possible. Thank you so much for listening and for supporting and being here. And please feel free to text me, email me, or message me if you want to have any questions, or I can help you in any way. Tomorrow I will be coming back and doing the episode 5 again about emotional resilience. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay connected.